Save more than half price on Purdue fresh laid quarters, only 99 cents per pound. Florida strawberries or fresh blueberries, just $4.99 per package. Save $2.30 on Friendly's ice cream, just $4.29 for a 48-ounce tub. Hot price on DiGiorno Rising Crust Pizza, only $8.50 for a 12-inch box. Save $3 on Pompeian olive oil, only $6.99 for a 24-ounce bottle. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more weekly specials.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Tuesday, February the 20th, 2018. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. A 17-year-old murdered in a stabbing attack in the UK has been identified as Larico Steed. The Bermudian teenager was reportedly stabbed multiple times in an attack by a group of males last Tuesday in Bulwell, Nottinghamshire. Nottingham police said his family is devastated by this senseless murder and confirmed that he died on Monday, February the 19th, after his life support machine was turned off. Police believe the boy, known as Rico, left home sometime around 6 p.m. At some point later, he was chased and attacked before being left seriously injured. Sources tell Bermuda Broadcasting News that Rico had only moved to the UK recently. The Bermuda Police Service is aware of the investigation but have yet to officially confirm the death of Larico Steed. They're also aware of a video of the attack circulating on social media. East Midlands Police, the force responsible for Nottingham, have launched a murder inquiry. In other news, more cause for concern as details of public school students' performance are revealed in the 2017 Bermuda Public School System report to the community. The report reveals not only are students struggling with math, but every other subject as well. Gary Moreno tells us more.
Let's begin with enrollment. The number of students attending the island's public schools went from 5,200 for the 2014-15 school year to 4,800 in 2016-2017. In terms of attendance, the report indicates the Bermuda public school system requires that students enrolled in their graduation year, S4, have a 95% attendance rating towards meeting graduation requirements. Well, based on the report, average daily attendance for senior school students reached a high of 88%. That was in the 2014-2015 school year. For the past 2 years, it's been 85%. And looking at the senior school graduation results for 2017, of the 215 students who graduated, only 36% were male. Yes, only 36% of students who graduated from the island's public secondary schools in 2017 were male. As if that were not troubling enough, let's take a closer look at the grades attained by students in the 2019 cohort, but who did the IGCSE English, Math and Science in 2017. Not one of the 102 students who wrote the core exam achieved an A or B grade in any of those subjects. In English, 22 of those who wrote the exam attained a C, 42 a D. In Math, 33 attained a C and 27 a D, while in Science, 1 student attained a grade C and 15 grade D. Again, these are students who wrote the core exam. So how did public students do when it comes to reading? In 2017, the number of P4 students reading at or above grade level was 41%, with a goal of 70% by 2020. For P6, M3 and S3, the figures were 44, 44 and 42% respectively, with a 2020 goal of 65%. In other words, fewer than half the students tested were reading at grade level or above. These figures notwithstanding, the Department of Education says it offers a strong academic program from preschool to senior 4 and beyond. The department goes on that upon graduating from the Bermuda public school system, Bermuda's graduates will be well prepared socially, emotionally, and academically for post-secondary success. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Gary. Well, 2 years, that's the time it took the Information Commissioner's Office to render a decision on our request back in 2015 to find out the salaries and bonuses paid to staff members of the Bermuda Tourism Authority. The station filed the request via the Public Access to Information, or PATI Act, in July 2015, which was initially blocked by the BTA, a decision which was later partially overturned by the Information Commissioner. Here's Tarai Trott with a look at how your money was spent within the organization.
In the financial document released by the Bermuda Tourism Authority, 2.5 years after receiving our PATI request, It reveals a number of staff members were eligible for bonuses from then Chief Executive Officer Bill Hamberry, who received an $88,000 bonus at the end of 2014 on top of his $295,000 salary and $75,000 housing allowance. Carla Lacey, the chief operating officer, for instance, was entitled to incentive and discretionary bonuses totaling between $40,000 and $50,000 in 2014. This is on top of her salary at the time, which ranged from $225,000 to $235,000. The data also details bonuses and salary information into 2016, when Mr. Hamberry received an incentive bonus ranging from $85,000 to $90,000. Chief Investment Officer Roland Andy Burrows, who in 2016 was paid a salary of between $225,000 and $235,000, was entitled to a bonus ranging between $65,000 and $70,000. Victoria Isley, the Chief Sales and Marketing Officer, was the BTA's highest paid employee in 2016, with her salary ranging between $310,000 and $320,000, plus an incentive bonus of between $90,000 and $95,000. Meanwhile, Glenn Jones, the BTA's Director of Public and Stakeholder Relations, received a salary of between $140,000 and $150,000 in 2016, while eligible for a bonus ranging from $15,000 to $25,000. And Pat Philip Farron, the BTA Chief Product and Experiences Officer, received between $65,000 and $70,000 as a bonus in 2016, on top of her base salary, which ranged between $225,000 and $235,000. The BTA was not required by the Information Commissioner to reveal the exact figures for the story as requested due to privacy exemptions it invoked. In response to our story, the BTA, which is funded by the taxpayer, points out the figures released are consistent with its long-standing commitment to transparency and have been published on its website along with other financial data. Additionally, now that the BTA's audited financials from 2016 have been tabled in Parliament, those documents were posted online as well, according to the BTA. Legislation governing the BTA requires its audited financials be put before legislators before they can be shared with the public. In 2016, the Auditor General gave the BTA its third consecutive unqualified audit. Meanwhile, tourism boss Kevin Dallas commenting that since its inception, the BTA has provided more information to the public than is required by law, and that the BTA is a performance-driven organization with a clear track record of positive results for the country. Each year, Mr. Dallas points out, performance objectives are adjusted by the Board of Directors to set new priorities that are in the strategic best interest of Bermuda. Tarai Trott reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Stay with us. More news in tonight's AccuWeather forecast after the break.
You can count on us.
Save more than half price on fresh green asparagus, only $2.99 per pound. USDA bone-in ribeye steak, just $12.99 per pound, saving $7. Select varieties of Fab 2X laundry detergent, only $4.99 for a 50-ounce bottle. ShopRite lactose-free milk, just $3.79 for a 64-ounce carton. Kellogg's Cornflakes cereal, only $3.99 for a 12-ounce box. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Your home, your life, security. Be fire and burglar free. Right from your phone, monitor, control. Lock safes, doors, gates, business, family safe. You're on the go, and that's okay. BSG with you every
Bermuda Security Group, your security, life safety, and monitoring experts. We're with you every step of the way. Bermuda Security Group, BSG.BM.
Welcome back. Jamal Simmons, the Minister for Tourism and Economic Development, today announcing William Spriggs as the new Director of Economic and Cooperative Development with the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation. Here's the Minister addressing a news conference today.
Today, in alignment with the government's agenda to expand entrepreneurship, create greater and fairer access to funding for entrepreneurs, remove red tape and roadblocks to business creation, and promote and expand cooperative economics, I am pleased today to announce Mr. William Spriggs as Bermuda's new Director of Economic and Cooperative Development with the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation. Mr. Spriggs is no stranger to the BEDC and to the business and entrepreneurship landscape in Bermuda, having served in various leadership roles within the BEDC. Most recently, he was Director of Micro, Small, and Medium-Sized Enterprise for the BEDC.
The BEDC is actively working on its application for becoming Bermuda's representative to the International Cooperative Alliance, the ICA. Mr. Spriggs revealed what is on top of his agenda.
Over the years, we have had discussions with numerous persons interested in member-controlled social enterprises, as well as all sorts of hybrid business structures. So we look forward to engaging with the public to get a real sense of how many people and businesses are interested in the cooperative structure. We'll be setting up public information sessions on cooperative economics in late April, early May, to begin to educate the public on what cooperatives are and the benefits of these types of structures. It's still early days, but just some of the various industries and business types that we see, just a good pickup, the fishing and agricultural industries. So right now, individuals in those particular players in those markets are more freelance, more sole proprietors, very successful in their own right, generational businesses. But there's no reason why fishermen, certainly farmers, even Bermudians as a whole, looking to be able to pass on a whole business development structure to their sons and daughters, can't get together and form a cooperative in those particular areas.
3 days after David Byrd unveiled the national budget, people are still talking about what it entailed. The spending plan unveiled by the Premier and Finance Minister met with largely positive responses today when Terai Trott and cameraman Kyle McNeil polled people on Reed Street.
I think it's very good, especially for the lower wage earner. So I believe in time, Bermuda's going to finally do that turnaround.
Having listened and read more about it recently, I'm actually quite more pleased than what I anticipated, let's put it that way. I think there's a few things there that that had the previous government proposed probably would not have gone well on the other side.
Which 60-40?
Well, no, that one I'm a little concerned about, to be honest, just because it's like they say, the slippery slope. It's going to be hard to come back from that.
I think it's a very optimistic budget and fairly well balanced.
Did it meet your expectations?
Pretty much, yes.
Some people are a bit cautious about the pledge to reverse 60-40 or to make it 40% Bermudian. What do you think about that?
I think Bermuda needs to open up to more overseas investments, and so long as ultimate control remains within Bermuda, that's fine.
I've got a bit of questions.
Such as?
We'll get to that later. Whether or not this question will be answered is up for grabs, but it just seems a little rushed, if you ask me. Like, it doesn't seem very well thought out. There was a lot of things in there, especially about the sugar tax, that I thought would be included, but we didn't get more details on that, and that's a big thing that I'm really worried about. But I just wish that some of the things in the budget were a little more detailed.
I was pleased to see that the Premier's addressed the issue of some of the lower paid people that are in our island, and it was nice to see that was addressed in this budget. Also, it's kind of interesting how the Premier is sort of targeting some of the loopholes that may have existed in payroll tax.
Reserving my final opinion. You'll always see that on Facebook next week.
What do you think about the plan to reduce the duty on select produce?
I thought it was a very good idea. At the end of the day, the Premier is trying to encourage people to eat much more healthier than maybe what they have been doing. And obviously, if the general public can afford to have a lower price, then more than likely will buy more of that particular product. The only issue that sort of needs to be raised is that carrots are on permanent embargo and therefore will not have a duty increase anyway because you can't buy them from overseas, so that's sort of a null point.
In other news, Wayne Keynes, the Minister of National Security, was interviewed recently in New York on the island's blockchain and cryptocurrency aspirations. The interview took place during the Blue Chip ICO Roadshow at the Harvard Club. Here's presenter Greg Greenberg conducting the interview.
And Bermuda is getting into the blockchain. Tell me why.
We believe that this is an awesome time. We have been around the world and we've seen the development in the distributed ledger technology field and in the specifically blockchain technology. And based on our We are a country that we have a reinsurance market and international finance and business. That is our mainstay. We see this as a natural evolution in our country, being leaders, not only in technology, but in blockchain technology. We have been looking in the world, and we see that a number of people all around the world are looking for places to domicile, looking for a highly regulated jurisdiction with a blue chip reputation. And we were recently in Davos, and we met with a number of people that said, listen, we would love the opportunity to bring our blockchain company to Bermuda, to do our ICO in Bermuda. And so we've accelerated our plans.
And that, of course, was Wayne Keynes there speaking in New York. Turning to weather news, sunny, gorgeous conditions for the next few days. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This AccuWeather forecast here on ZBM is brought to you by our friends at the BF&M Insurance Group. And I think everybody's on board with a pretty popular forecast here over the next couple of days with a massive area of high pressure centered right overhead. We have sinking air, and that's going to continue to pave the way for just some delightful weather. You can see the broad circulation around this high pressure system, that clockwise flow. Here's the visible satellite. I'm not even going to bother with the satellite estimated rainfall because there's nothing anywhere nearby. But you can see here in the final hours of the afternoon, as we step into the evening and the sun gets a little low on the horizon and sun sets, essentially, we are seeing the lights go out on what has been a very nice day with very few clouds in the neighborhood. Temperatures around 68 degrees, humidity 64%, winds a little bit of a breeze from the northeast at 8 to 12 knots, but it's certainly not a strong wind. Water temp, we lost a degree, down to 69 degrees. We did hit 70 yesterday for the water temps. On the inside, we have waves around a foot. On the outside, you're going to find larger waves, 5 to 8 feet. We are under a fair weather pattern, but still it's a little choppy if you go far enough out there. So tonight, partly cloudy, stars will be out, mild night, 65 degrees, not extra light pollution from the moon out there, so you will see plenty of stars between those spotty clouds in the sky. Tomorrow, back up to 70 degrees, sunshine, a few fair weather clouds. It'll be a great day. Nice day for those traveling to our fair corner of the globe here. Good time to have those cruise ships roll in with such nice weather in the neighborhood. Just recently had a low tide. High tide coming up at 11:40 tonight. The next low tide will be early in the morning, around 5:54 a.m. And high tide number 2, if you're scoring at home, is around 11:55 on Wednesday morning, approaching noon. Gateway forecast, Toronto's wet and very mild, and it's unusually mild and warm, really, across the northeastern U.S. here. Boston may hit 70, Atlanta 77, Miami holding on to the heat as well. London, much closer to average there at 46 on the other side of the pond, as they say. Into other parts of the Caribbean, we have a few showers into Barbados, but it is a drier and brighter time with this massive high-pressure system right over our heads. It's also influencing weather across the rest of the Caribbean in many areas. So Jamaica looks dry and bright, warm, 90 degrees there. In Trinidad, partly sunny skies, generally dry in the southern part of the Windward Islands as well. So we're going to hold on to the great weather through tomorrow and Thursday. A few showers will sneak in as a front gets near on Friday. The front won't come through with much gusto. In fact, you see temperatures stay pretty warm on the other side of that, but it'll be just enough to trigger a few showers on Friday. And there could be a shower or two. You can see Sunday's clouds a little bigger. Sunday evening into Monday could be a shower or two in that time frame. Enjoy the ride. Back to you.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
All my life is changing every day, in every possible way. Then I open up and see the person falling here is me. 'Cause you're a dream to me.
Made with care, handled with care, delivered with care. That's what dreams are made of.
Are you required to take one or more medications daily but have a hard time remembering when to take them? Does your family fear you may end up in the hospital because you often forget to take your meds? Or are you a caregiver looking for a time management tool designed to make your medication routine effortless? The Phoenix stores can help. With an MDS blister pack, a multi-dose packaging system that makes it easier to manage and take your medication. Each MDS blister pack contains medications for the week and is pre-packed, sealed, and labeled by a pharmacist. Prescriptions grouped by the day and the time of day you should take them, whether at breakfast, lunch, dinner, or bedtime. Plus, to ensure you're covered, each pack includes detailed, personalized instruction. Take confidence in knowing you're using your medications as the doctor planned. Visit the Phoenix stores to chat with the pharmacist and get your MDS blister pack today. The Phoenix stores, for a better life.
Okay, take note, everyone. The Bermuda Aquarium Museum and Zoo is appealing for Bermudians to remove any fishing lines they come across at the seashore, warning they are a danger to marine life. The appeal comes as the aquarium prepares to release a turtle which had to undergo months of rehabilitation after swallowing a hook and line last year. Hal Davis reports.
Can you see what I see?
This is the true habitat for sea turtles, the vast global oceans. It's a far cry from the living quarters of Bridget, the sea turtle being rehabilitated at the aquarium. She was caught last October by 7-year-old Ariel Williams as she fished off rocks.
You can see the hook. Again, it's embedded in the esophagus. Here's the airway coming back down here.
Dr. Ian Walker operated on Bridget to remove the hook and line. He says it's not just turtles being caught on hooks that's a problem.
What's a lot more common and often a lot more tragic is animals that are wrapped up in monofilament that's found discarded on the shore or in the water, and the animal becomes entangled. It either cuts off the blood supply on a flipper, in which case you're doing a flipper amputation if it's got to that point, or the animal becomes tethered in place, and as a result of swimming around in circles, it gets tighter and tighter. Animal can't get its head above water, and then they drown. So we've had a number of instances of that.
So Bridget, despite swallowing the hook and line, is relatively lucky. Dr. Walker says islanders can help just by removing any line they come across.
So one of the things that we're desperately trying to get out to the public is, look, if you're walking along the foreshore or having a wonderful day with your family and you see monofilament line, by all means pick it up, because it becomes a death trap for birds, for sea life, anything like that. If you can remove it, obviously being taken care of, there may be a hook at the end of it, all of that would be great. The other thing is any lead weights, remove those from the environment, because those could be eaten by birds and they get toxicity as a result. So yeah, it's just a gentle reminder, while out enjoying nature, make sure that you look after our wildlife.
Improving weather means more people fishing and the likelihood of more sick or injured turtles getting found. The aquarium is calling on anyone who comes across a stricken turtle to ring their hotline. The number to call is 297 1010. Aquarium staff say the best way to look after a sick turtle while waiting for assistance is not to put them in water, but to cover them in a damp towel out of the sun. With luck, they say, more turtles may do as well as Bridget, who is all set to return to her vast ocean habitat. Hal Davis, Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Turning to sports, a First Division team will reach the FA Challenge Cup final this year. A young cyclist finished third in a stage race in the U.S., and a 2-year-old horse is blazing the track at Vesey Street. Earl Baisden has it all in tonight's Sports Report.
The much-anticipated FA Challenge Cup semi-final draw was held inside the Clyde Best Center of Excellence boardroom, with Chairman of Competitions, Shannon Burgess, hosting the draw.
We were here, I guess, less than a month ago, and we talked about 4 First Division teams progressing to the quarterfinal stage, which made up half of the pool at that stage. And now here we are again, two First Division teams making up the pool of 4 for the semi-final draw. I think the last time that happened, it may have happened since, but I recall one time that happened where Devonshire Colts actually were drawn against St. George's for the semi-final, which guaranteed a First Division team progressing into the final. Devonshire Colts actually defeated St. George's and went on to win the FA Cup. So 2 teams fighting for promotion, the league leaders and the defending league champions. Doesn't get much better than that, eh? Southampton Rangers. Catch it. PHC.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by the all-new Boundary at Fairmount Southampton, the West End's only sports bar. Catch all the action and enjoy smoked to perfection barbecue, beer, and other pub favorites. It's game on at Boundary.
Matthew Oliveira competed at the 26th Annual John Early Memorial Valley of the Sun Stage Cycle Race. Representing his U.S. cycling team, Hot Tubes, Oliveira finished third overall in the boys 17-18 Grand Championship with an overall time of 3:41.16. The division was won by Quinn Simmons, who was clocked in an overall time of 3:40.26, with Andrew Vollmer second in 3:40.42. Over the last few harness pony racing race days, the name Gold and Glory has been talked about more and more, with the 2-year-old now got the track's attention. Gold and Glory, owned by Charles Whitehead and driven by Kaiwan Waldron, on this past Sunday broke the 2-year-old track record at the National Equestrian Center on Vesey Street. The speed of the horse has really surprised Waldron.
Definitely eye-opening for a 2-year-old to be going that fast, and he's never seen something like that before. Hopefully that record stands for quite a while. I would say so. But it's amazing the power and the speed that he has, and just pulls and pulls and keeps going. Just loves to run.
Whitehead, who is also the president of the Harness Pony Racing Club, attributes the improvements made to the track as plenty of success thus far this season.
The track has made a significant difference. Really has. The animals are a lot happier, healthier. All sorts of benefits. I want to say, other than the overall track record, every single track record has been broken this year. So that speaks volumes on just how far we've come from last season to this season. Injuries, we've practically reduced. I mean, we still get, like any athlete, you still get a little injury here and there. But again, significantly reduced all sorts of injuries, shoeing issues and stuff. We seem to be onto something here.
Tufts University men's and women's indoor track and field teams will host the first annual Brandwin Smith King Invitational this coming Saturday. Smith King will be at Saturday's meet, and a dedication ceremony will take place prior to the start of the track events that will get underway at 10:30 a.m. with the field events starting at 10 a.m. Sadiq Nurse helped his Western Branch High School win the Regional A's Championships at the Bo Williams Sports Complex in Virginia. Nurse and his teammates won the boys 4x200 meter relay, crossing the line in a time of 1:32.07. Nurse would then finish 11th, competing in the boys 55 meter dash in a time of 6:80. Walker Campbell and his William & Mary's men's golf teammates fired a final round 3 under par, 291 to round out at 10 under par, 854 to win the Invitational at the Savannah Harbor. William & Mary held off Austin P by 3 strokes to win the event. Sophomore Campbell finished the 54-hole event with a score of 2 under par, 214 to finish tied 7th. Kirsten Salters and her Kettlewell women's tennis teammate fell 7-0 to NCAA Division I's Allen in women's tennis action at the Paul Tennis Center. Salters lost 6-2, 6-3 at the number 6 spot to Sophie Edo. Sydney Todd and her Thomas College women's basketball teammates completed their 2017-18 season with a 90-56 loss to Hudson University. Todd played 6 minutes, going 0 for 1 from the field. She would also grab 2 rebounds in the game. Letitia Lima Ferreira's Mount Allison University women's volleyball teammates fell 3-0 to Holland University. Holland would win in straight games 25-17, 25-18, 25-20.
Tonight's sports has been brought to you by the all-new Boundary at Fairmount Southampton, the West End's only sports bar. Catch all the action and enjoy smoked to perfection barbecue, beer, and other pub favorites. It's game on at Boundary.
I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the Breakfast Bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
Imagine you're home working as hard as you. harnessing the power of the sun. While you work, we work. Think solar with BAE. Imagine more power, more often with BAE.
And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.